Well, ladies and Germans, how you all doing? This is Con Ulrich.
And I'm Rangru. Hello, hello, hello.
And folks, we are on Slutsk today. We have, abstained from any ally v ally nonsense here. In fact, we have ourselves a good old-fashioned Eastern Front conflict. What's going on, Rang?
Well, on the left-hand side in blue, we have one of the new Nemesis divisions, the Bane of 10v10s, the 16th Panzer division by an appropriately named vonPaulus with a Maverick income. And on the right-hand side in red, we have Ortfine playing some other, he has other stuff in his name which I can't pronounce, playing 1st Polish Infantry Division with a Vanguard income. Yeah, shows are the numbers.
So why is the 16th the bane of 10v10s? Like, you know my feeling about 10v10s in the first place, it's just artillery in every direction. So why do people not like the 16th?
3 cards of King Tigers.
Yeah, that'll do it, basically.
Yeah, that's pretty much it. Like, they got the new fancy King Tiger high school model, and you just cannot kill it in a 4v4 or a 10v10 because good luck flanking.
Oh, absolutely.
And good luck getting airplanes over when there's Trove 88mm guns in the enemy rear line.
Well, they already have the SPWs, which, not for nothing, I love seeing these guys. I really do. They're so much fun. I mean, it's... I get the feeling sometimes that light vehicles really need to be represented more in some cards, but, you know, that's just a personal hang-up.
I do like seeing a lot of light vehicle play, because there's like cool maneuver warfare going on, flanking with 20mm cannons. It's always a pleasure.
Oh yeah, it's that low-tier World of Tanks kind of stuff that's just a lot of fun, so... we are going to see a BA-10 actually causing quite a bit of hassle here. But the kind of standard skirmishing going on, in fact, we're actually going to see some... the Polish desantniki being brought on forwards over here, trying to reinforce their comrades in that northern town. Down south? Down south, a little bit slower in developing.
But like, Orta's got a huge swath of land for really not much blood at all, because there's nothing down south there from the Germans apart from a few pioneers.
Yeah, I'm not sure I really like that too much. From the perspective, I don't really know why vonPaulus didn't invest a little bit more there, but we'll certainly see. I know to the north we have a pack track with a couple of P4s. They're going to find it initially slow going against those T-34Es, not because of their overwhelming armor or firepower, but you don't want to get into a close-range combat with them. It's just a bad idea.
Yeah, this is going to get pretty dicey between these, Giro tank force here, but you do have the Focke-Wulfs trying to... and a Panzer track actually coming in clutch. Didn't even notice that guy.
Not the T-34E, as it turns out.
Yeah.
But, the Poles. Poles are looking to do a lot of early aggression, take territory, knock him out in 15-20 minutes. The big thing here is, as Pete Grant's fall back across the river, there's got to be an ability of vonPaulus to first clean up the southern flank, and then to just hold on, isn't it? Yeah,
and it's a pretty good map to play 16th Panzer Division, as if you were to bring King Tiger on the southern flank, the Poles really do not have much that can deal with it. They have no ground-based AT that can reliably penetrate it. I believe they get cluster... no, I think they get cluster bombers. Because that'd be their best way of dealing with it, is using air power. Because the Poles do have pretty good air power with all the IL-2s.
Yes. Yes, I think you're right, by the way, with the cluster bombers.
Yeah.
Now...
But...
yes, sir.
No, but they are just a very powerhouse division, Poles.
It's one of those things, I feel like the Poles, no matter whose army they're fighting in, they are quite beefy. I think something to do with all the beets in their diet. Maybe I'm incorrect there. But we are seeing more pack tracks, more pioneers, and I always forget that the fellow Gendarmerie actually come in with those pack tracks. It's always so strange to me to see them. I'm used to seeing the pack tracks being separate.
He's actually using field police. Yeah, he is. I guess he is using them purely just to get the pack tracks in for a cheap price.
Oh yeah.
I guess that's a pretty reasonable reason to do it, but it's such a weird thing to see actual military police units be used, because as everyone should know, they are just, for the most part, extremely useless.
Well, the funny thing is, I feel like they might be one of the few moments when, especially in a team game, to bring in basically the field police just to act as, German commissars for a little bit of time. That makes an ersatz opening actually worthwhile.
That's really all I good for, really. As you can do a lot of policing when you have submachine guns.
You can motivate the troops terminally. Focke-Wulf to the south, able to push back the BA-10s, but not the rest of the Strokies, which is going to cause a bit of a hassle for that lone pioneer squad down there. I'm actually surprised he hasn't already bit the farm. Bit the dust, excuse me. Bought the farm, but he's going to die on it right now.
And that's really going to plummet the property value, I think. I don't think no one wants to buy a farm where people have died on it.
Actually, be surprised. Again, blood makes for good crops.
That's true. That's really true.
Now, we are seeing that these pack tracks are actually throwing rounds downrange, and they're taking out a lot of this infantry as it comes in, so they could die here, and they've still actually, I think, done a really good job.
Yeah, it's actually, looking at that pack track, look how much ammunition they have.
Yes, that is true.
All I can imagine is just like the cargo hold of the half track is just filled with a bunch of cluttered, like, ammunition shells all over. It's just like a big pile of artillery shells, and you just like load the gun. You just look behind you, you just grab a random shell and just chuck it in.
Well, that's actually why there's only 4 guys in there as a track, is because they put all the rounds in there. So it was originally meant to transport, 8 troops or 10 troops. But then the Pentagon got its hands on it, and there's a whole boondoggle that happened. You might have seen it, it's called Pentagon Wars, but But a Stroke column in the meantime being brought to the north to try to stem the tide of this push. And I think there's just enough firepower here to maybe push the Poles out of that forest. I say maybe because that T-34 backstop and the Stroke SVTs will cause a bit of a hassle.
Panzer IVs are providing pretty good fire support because with your standard Panzer Grenadier division, they don't have the best infantry, unless we're talking about 5th SS with all their infantry cards. Like, Poles really do have that advantage with their troops, just having more and arguably better infantry. So what I'm trying to say, in long story short, is that it's going to come down to these Panzer IVs being effective, and they're doing okay.
So with the H's, these are the ones with the armored skirts on them, so not for nothing. You would think to be a lot better against shape charges, but don't think they really factor that in here. There's also a Tiger E on one of the northern arterials, so this could be interesting to see how well this finds itself employed in that town fighting.
Yeah, really, your 16th Panzer there's not really any reason in this matchup to actually get the King Tiger, because the Tiger E is pretty much just as hard to kill. And I was just paying attention to the actual points right now, and vonPaulus is down 8-16. That's just all due to the southern flank just completely collapsing because it's completely bare of Panzers, or Panzer Grenadiers.
Well, he's bringing a Strogan, so he's getting part of the way there, and some more P-Grunts to kind of clean up this one Strokey squad. If he takes that back, yes, there's 2 more squads being brought on in. But, I don't know. I'm not sure I really like their intended positioning here.
Yeah. But yes, there's a real slaughter up north, as it's pretty back and forth in these townless forest fights. It's going to be the harder area for vonPaulus to push. I'm really surprised he hasn't tried to do more of an aggressive push down south. Just Tiger down here, can't do anything about it. And the Panzer Grenadiers and other armored vehicles will definitely appreciate a bit more of the open field engagement.
But at long last, we see some firepower, some air power, excuse me. IL-2s being brought on in to slam after that MG-42. Not sure I like that target acquisition there. I think I probably would hit that ridge line where I just lost my Strokey squads, but, you know, each their own.
He really doesn't like that machine gun.
Poor Judd. Unfortunately for him, that bomb was not a dud.
And now he's full of sod.
I believe you meant sod, but yes.
Yeah, oh yeah. I meant sod.
Well, he's lying under the sod anyway.
Yeah. Poor sodden guy.
Ooh, I forgot that the Poles get the Su-76s with the radios.
Yeah. They got the anti-tank version of them, so they're actually decent for the price. They're only 35 points. And that's not the best armor penetration value, but the APCR sales definitely increase it by quite a bit. I mean, that could be a pretty deadly threat against a Tiger. Maybe if they weren't so bunched up, so they'll not share suppression damage, it'd go a bit better for him, but...
Oh no, he's engaging all of them right now, isn't he? Yes, he is. Dude, this is a perfect moment of having, like, a target range. Oh wow, that looked like it was going to be, like, a firing range on some carnival someplace.
Yeah, Orts is pushing pretty hard in this, like the northern town. Just this whole northern area is bringing much more strokey SVT squad to clear the way. I mean, he's got the far northern side pretty much under his control, and he just has to finish off the remnants in the northern central town, just south of the river.
Yeah, there are remnants for the moment, but he's got to get there quick. There's 3 more squads of Pioneers, the Shugs. I mean, the Strokes are not made to go toe-to-toe with a lot of material on the map, but they're nice little weapons platforms.
Yeah, the problem right now is really just an infantry problem here for vonPaulus, and he really needs to push more heavily in the central down south. He is not going to fight or win an infantry fight like this against the Poles.
No.
He needs more tank fire support.
Yes. Yes.
Because, yeah, it's just, like, if you look down south, there's 2 strokies, not for long, you know, have those 2 flags captured behind enemy lines.
Yes.
But capturing them should clear things up a little bit for Von, as it should stop that whole 2+ point bleed for him.
Northern town push, by the way, that's now going to be stillborn for von Autostadt. I'm sorry, you're not going to last against 3 Pioneers with half-tracks, with armored support. The only thing that probably can make it better is bringing in some committed artillery. But we know sometimes people tend to be a little bit more wary of that. Ooh. But Saperti counterpunch being placed in the absolute north. Interesting. How do you read this? Is this going to be the kind of punch that seals the deal for the north, or what's going on?
It's weird because he pretty much almost has the north under control. I would say they're going to get into the area and clear things out, but it's not like he's really going to capture any more territory he has up north, because you really just hold on to that hill, and that's it. It's very hard to push past the hill down it across the bridge into the enemy town, as that's a long railway. Some of them probably be better just heading down south to, you know, hold on to the central position.
Ooh, Tiger goes down. I think that was an HP kill, though. I mean, he's still dead. I think he's still dead.
He took a lot of shots, but yeah. We got another Tiger to replace him, and a bunch of Slugs, and I'm even bringing the mobile rank on to keep out any nasty airplanes here.
Unfortunately, he's not really placed the best position here, but the Focke-Wulf might be enough. He's not going to take him out in time before the ordnance comes out. But deflection? I guess I'm always surprised that the 20 mils and the 13 mils aren't more deadly.
IL-2 is made out of aluminium, Khan.
I know, and faith in the almighty communist, but...
Yeah.
The Stalinomicon over there.
I can just imagine, like, it's like Necronomicon, but just with Stalin's face on it.
Actually, I was thinking the Astronomicon. It's like just a burning hammer and sickle in the night.
Oh, you're thinking 40k.
I was going 40k still, yeah.
I was going Evil Dead.
Yes, you're going much more Ash, which I definitely respect. It is 13-11, so vonPaulus able to cut that bleed consistently.
Yeah, and he still has a good 5 minutes of B phase to try and keep up his aggressive advantage that he has. Going into C phase, it's not really too bad for him. That's only a 20-point difference. Could be much worse. But he's bringing in a lot of armor up north. Got 222s, Stugs. Probably could do a bit more infantry more than anything, but once again, like I'm going to keep parroting on about, he really should push more heavily down south.
Yeah.
I mean, I understand why people don't like pushing out in the open, but when you have in such a heavily armed tank division versus a division that doesn't have good long-range AT, you might as well just try and, just push in the open area. The fields, the vast fresh air of Soviet agriculture is much more safe in the dense towns of... I was going to say commie blocks, but this isn't like apartment buildings, these are still villages, so... Ukraine, Russian village, or Belarusian villages, I should say.
You mean communities?
Communities, yes.
Well, you're saying also they don't have great anti-tank, and yet there still is a ZIS-3 down there. So let's not pretend that he's not deadly. But
deadly against thugs.
There's the IL-2, by the way, the South IL-2 cluster. So yes, we have confirmed Poles do in fact have cluster munitions under their belt. I think though he's trying to just seize this northern town because it's so much more quickly and easily defensible, as will be proven pretty quickly as the Strokies sitting in their defense in depth just slowly retard this progress.
You could definitely give an off-map artillery more than anything. Just a good off-map strike on that northern area, the end push through for light vehicles, he could get a lot of kills and surrenders.
Well, that's the Northern Forest by itself. The Mobile Wagon, the 222s. I actually forgot how much fun the 222s are just because of their inherent just firepower. Really lack of a better word.
Speed machines. And also being able to just dump a recon squad somewhere.
Yes.
Like, it's not as useful now in SC2 because recon's kind of rubbish, but just having a fast vehicle with an autocannon is always fun.
Yes. Yes, now annoyingly, for vonPaulus, von Eidelstadt is taking your advice. He is throwing some tanks down to the south. Doesn't matter if he loses a couple of them. Here comes the Königstiger, by the way, southern approach.
There we go.
But there's still 4 squads. 2 tanks, 2 infantry. Sapirci sitting over here behind them. We've got the ZIS-3 in deep reserve. We've got a 37 mil for anti-air. It's a very nifty little scratch defense. That exactly is what you need.
Yeah, and it's a really cheap aggressive operation, and he's going to capture some, nice easy flags, which is going to pull the lead back into a 2+ for him, so...
True, but to the north
really
north at the same time, though, yes, shooters killed over here on the Tiger E, but there is a lot of other material here. And I don't know, I think we actually might see...
Whoa! Yeah.
We're gonna... Yeah, the Tiger goes down, jeez.
Yeah. Yeah, it's SU-76s it's always funny, you think, historically in other video games, there are always such crappy anti-tank pieces, but here in Steel Division they do not mess about.
Well, I mean, that's the benefit of having games that run on RNG, as opposed to, ooh, wait, 2 Königstigers. That is a hefty investment.
Okay, that might be a little bit overkill in terms of points, because you gotta realize that's a 210-point unit con.
Yeah, but you know what? If you have 170 in the first place, you want to make sure you get him out.
Yeah. He better not lose them to cluster bombs.
That's okay. Cluster bombs attacking to the north.
Yeah.
And now there's going to be a Focke-Wulf. Yeah, Focke-Wulf's going to hit this.
Yeah. Yeah, knocking out any and all cluster bombers is going to be a vital strategy from vonPaulus, and now he has the King Tigers, now he needs all the supporting stuff such as anti-air, which he has, and mainly infantry, so they can spot the stuff for the King Tigers to shoot.
All the SDKF sets, oh man. I don't know why. I mean, I know Dushkas are here, I know we have the ZIS platforms, or the ZSUs, excuse me, but the SDKF set's always going to have a place in my heart,
Yeah. It's just... I mean, you can solve a lot of problems when you have 4 20mm guns strapped together and shooting simultaneously.
That's the only way I know how to hunt.
Yeah. I mean, you don't really have to worry about, hitting the deer when you can just... you just lob 10-second worth of high explosive firepower. Unfortunately, there's not much deer left to eat after the fact, but we're just happy that you got a hit.
I was going to say, why hunt the deer if we can cut the forest for free?
You get more than deer, you get the squirrels, you get the coyotes.
Exactly.
All the insects lying about. I mean, you got such a high kill count during that.
The Puff the Magic Dragon over here. 5 more Strelky squads going to stop that approach to the north. And that tends to be the problem over here against the Poles. The Poles, like you said before, their infantry is just way too damn good to worry overly much about losing an infantry fight.
Yeah, just, like you...
Yeah.
Cool, the infantry up north, and look, there's 6 more Strelky DP squads. Oh, it's Strelky DP squad of SVTs. Oh god, yeah, they still have the goddamn, like, pre-nerf Strelky DPs, it seems.
The DP-28, oh yeah.
Yeah, with like the 9 SVTs, that is insane. Yeah, Poles are really good infantry fighters, man.
Well, that's why you have all these MG-34s going on with the P-Grand, and another Stroke moved into the north. I'm laughing because down to the south, the Königstiger is doing that whole, using a cannon to kill a mosquito kind of moment here.
Yeah. It's quite funny how much ammunition the King Tiger has. It's like 44 high explosive cells and 44 AP cells. So it's not going to run out of ammo. When you think about the IS-2,
no.
Much lighter.
What it is going to run out of is maintenance parts first, so...
That's very true. That's very true. But yeah, just... anything that comes in that big catch ray is not going to survive long. But the problem is, he needs the infantry support. He needs just stuff to push in front of the King Tigers so they don't get blown up.
SPW takes out a T-34. It's always strange to watch that happen.
Yeah, autocannons can be really surprising in this game.
Kind of funny also, they probably call them rapid fire cannons. I think the whole idea of autocannons, I don't know when that first became a concept, but...
Probably like World War I with like pom-pom guns. Probably I think it was probably the pom-pom gun would be considered the first auto-rotation cannon. Or maybe the Gatling, or... I mean... I don't know really. I'm just gonna go with pom-pom. You guys can correct me in the comments.
Rooster.
Yeah. I know nothing.
Thank you, Jon Snow. I have to confess, first of all, I always loved the story behind the Gatling gun. I love the reason that was invented. We want to have less people fighting. Oh, we have the same amount of people fighting, but now we can shoot more of them. Hooray! Well done, Doctor, you've won.
I just liked using Gatling guns and Fall of the Samurai.
Oh, of course. Absolutely.
It's like, you got a bunch of riflemen over here. Oh, that's nice. I got a Gatling gun and naval artillery. Have at it.
I have to admit, most of the time, by the moment that I ended up getting things like those weapons, the campaign was already over. And at that point, I was like, you know what? I want to go into another campaign. Like, I'm not going to waste the time getting Gatling guns. I'm just going to storm you with my 85, vet gold chevron warrior monks with Kanabo clubs. I don't know. It was ridiculous.
Yeah, Soken 2 is fun.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, it's looking better for vonPaulus now, considering he is starting to be more aggressive down south. He's not making too much progress up north, but he's holding on to the few territorial gains which he has managed to control. And yeah, he really just needs to push more heavy up north, I think, if he can try and capture like the town south of the river. That would be pretty good for him, and he has all the infantry to back him up.
Now, I guess I'm looking for... Ooh, wow, Studebaker went down. There's still that 122 down to the south. And I feel like if he can take out those 2 units, the 37 mil and that artillery piece, he's got a real chance. But right now he's got just under 3 minutes to do something to turn this back around.
Oh god. Yeah, he doesn't have a lot of time. And where can he get a flag? I guess it's where the Strelky CKM is down south. That one guy is pretty much holding this game together. We've got Strelky's along the center position going to be capping the flag. Yeah, so...
Oh my god. Tight. Look at this path from this Pioneer in the half-track. Just...
Pioneer in the half?
Yeah, so look at the Pioneer half-track. It's a Kiesler.
Oh.
But there we go. We have another one that makes a lot more sense. So he's going to go out of his way, come back down, drop off, then go back to the north. It's just like, oh, dear lord. Pick a front and stay there.
There's 2 minutes left, and Vaughn, he needs to capture 2 flags, and he needs to have done it really 5 minutes ago. There we go. He's got one along the center position, and he might be able to capture the second one in the southern farm.
He better be able to. The flak's right there.
Yeah.
But oh no, the flak can't see.
It's just needs to move like 50 meters to the left.
Yeah, absolutely.
There you go. Pioneers jumps out. They're going to be able to get the grenades off.
They're not going to throw the grenades or go into rolling in for post-combat. Not sure I agree with that particular decision, but okay.
As long as it clears the area, I guess, it's all that really matters in vonPaulus. And
yeah, but at what cost? I mean, you lose a half-track, and you lose... Yeah, I don't know.
Oh, we're out CKM, actually. Oh, I guess because they have the semi-auto rifles.
Well, and they had numbers, and they had the defense. I mean, not going to be easy. 50 seconds left. Got to do something here. But there's the one flip. If they can take out these two, take out the tank, anti-tank gun, take out the artillery piece, that's going to be enough.
But he's going to have to really wait for his Panzer Grenadiers to slow march up to the front line to try and clear that forest, and that should give vonPaulus a lot of time. I do like how he's repositioned one of the King Tigers into the central position, probably just to deter anything from capping that flag again.
Well, that was a thing that he was starting to do originally, but they got hung up with some fighting. More Strokies being brought out into the south, trying desperately to make sure he does not lose that flag.
Yeah, it's going to get tight. I mean, looking up north here, Ort is pretty close in capping that northern hill again, just due to the infantry advantage that he has. But we are seeing vonPaulus push along the northern town south of the river. You know, there's a lot of Strokies, and he doesn't have a lot of Panzergrenade.
He doesn't have a lot of artillery either. Again, some kind of artillery. Here's a guerrilla, but about 20 minutes late in my mind. I really would have liked to see some tube, or heck, even some heavier gun emplacements as opposed to the Pak-40.
Yeah, he really just needs a lot of high explosive fire support to just dig out these anti-tank guns and infantry positions.
He's not going to be able to do it either. I mean, we have one Stug over here that's causing some death and destruction. Or wait, no, excuse me. Well, it's another Stug in the area.
Yeah.
But, was it 7 or 8 squads of Strokies being brought on in, plus 3 more that are coming in on foot? Like, it's an absurd number of troops.
Yeah, Poles just have an unlimited supply of infantry.
Which to a certain degree just doesn't make sense, but whatever.
I guess I see what you mean, because, like, it's just the manpower issue for recruiting Poles. I know in the Polish divisions in the British Army, that was a real big deal, as it was kind of hard to recruit Poles when Poland was under Nazi occupation and in the middle of continental Europe. Kind of hard to get them to the British Isles and that sort of situation.
Yeah, apparently I don't understand how the geography works in Europe, but you know what? No. I am but a dumb American, so what do I know? I will also save it back to a 12-12. Flirting with his own kind of moment here. Actually, we have 2 Zis-3s that are taking a King Tiger under fire. And this is an important duel going on.
I don't think the Zis-3 can really do anything against King Tiger. Might be able to blow up that Pak-40 here, which would be a pretty good kill, and a good kill it is. And we got the southern push with the Panzer Grenadiers finally making it to the forest, and here we go. vonPaulus is being able to capture some very vital flags. He now has the point lead, the flag lead. I mean, he still has a lot of... he still has to capture or hold for a long time still to get the victory here, but I think if he can position that King Tiger down south effectively, he will pretty much just secure that entire area for the rest of the match.
Well, yeah, I mean, look at this. The Poles have 2 things on the map that are actually dangerous. One's an Su-85 on the opposite side of the map.
Yep.
The other is a Zis 3, which is stressed and pulling back. So, I mean, not for nothing, but... Ooh, and there goes one of the actual threats. Stay at range, keep your infantry to identify targets, shell them into oblivion. GG.
And the northern side has been reinforced with light vehicles and some infantry. So once again, vonPaulus is going to try and do another push. Don't think it's going to work all that well. It's going to take some pretty heavy casualties. But he's holding onto that northern flank at least, because he really cannot afford to lose. He can't afford to lose anything, period. We are seeing the IL-2 coming down south. Oh, no.
No. No, there's too much stress on that. Come on. Oh my god.
No!
Wow.
Yeah. Yeah, that's a pretty big kill there.
It's a big kill, but at what cost? At this point, he might lose to both of his IL-2s down here. In fact, I'm pretty sure he's going to. There's nothing down here except for that one CKM, and is there something else on top of that? There's a Strokey CKM, and there's a Strokey.
Yeah. He's still holding on to the southern town at least, just because the Pounder Grenadiers haven't decided to head down south 600 meters or so. So he still has that flag under his control for now, but... Yeah, I mean, still, it's at a pretty good position now vonPaulus is in. He can just bring in some other fire support vehicles or cheaper tanks into his forest area, and that should be more than enough to keep anything at bay.
Meanwhile, up to the north, I mean, this has been one of those things where he takes body shots for minutes at a time here with vonPaulus. 50 seconds away from defeat. It looks like he actually could be pulling a rabbit out of his hat.
Yeah, it's really quite surprising. I was not expecting like it to be so tight. But that southern push definitely came in just clutch. But still, all Ort has to do is secure a 1-point lead for 50 seconds. He just needs to find you somewhere. But, I don't know, the northern side is pretty much collapse of infantry, it seems.
That's a long time. It's a very long time.
Just looking at the mini-map, it's much more blue on the map than there is red. And the blue is much more concentrated, just like my Kool-Aid.
Oh, yeah. CKMs to the south. I mean, T-34 is going to be able to do some kind of nonsense, but I don't see... I don't know. I think von Eidelstadt just let this slip out of his fingers to the last second here, and I think this northern town really could have been even more... Yeah, here we go. I'm starting to see an A move go here from west to east. And I think there's a couple of Strokey squads going to die before the Superiority with Rocks really can get into true support. And I think, honestly, that von Eidelstadt's very lucky that vonPaulus's vehicles are not placed a little bit more aggressively. The Superiority wouldn't be getting within 800 yards of this push.
Yeah, because by this time now we have pretty much the town almost under complete control. I mean, you just put the Stug on the hill and nothing will get near the town. It's a pretty simple defensive position.
Yeah, when even the mobile wagon is throwing more rounds at infantry as opposed to actually shooting at air power, that's when you know things are really rough.
Yeah, he's mainly just been shooting infantry this entire time. He's been very mobile.
Boo.
Yeah. I'm here all night, folks.
To the north, though, so this is a last, I think, throw of the dice here with Superiority with the rocks. Once I think you're using those, and wow, yeah, I don't think he has anything left. I think this is the last thing. He's scraping the bottom of the barrel here. Mm-hmm. He being Eidelstadt, but yeah.
Do have a limit of infantry, it seems. Okay, he's bringing in some T-34s now, and that's really the only thing he's bringing, and that's not going to be enough. But still, he just needs to only flip one flag. It must be really infuriating for him.
Well, he's got to flip more than one flag. He's got to flip quite a few here.
Yeah. Oh yeah, he's got to flip like 3 at his point, and just looking how well defended vonPaulus's positions is. I mean, he's clearing through the center now, and that's going to be pretty much 2 more flags under his control here.
Well, he's taking hellacious losses to do it, but yeah.
Yeah.
And another one down to the south, so another pocket gets cleaned out. That actually might be another flag. Yeah, now 16-8. Jeez.
Yeah, this is not good at all for Orchat is.
Yeah, and Ort just says, you know what, dude, I've had enough. Which I completely understand. That was an absolutely ripper of it. So congratulations. Wow.
Clutch at the end, and KD, yeah, pretty standard for a match like that.
T-34 is coming in big, though. Bolinski and Goodis.
Mm-hmm.
Very well done there. On the opposite side of the tape, Glazer doing pretty well. Pack 40 doing pretty well. Tiger E. I feel like the Tigers have just kind of served their purpose as being terrifying weapons here, and other than that, like nothing.
Yeah, they just draw fire, and they just draw fire really, so you can just blow up the anti-tank guns, which are shooting them with airplanes and support guns. And they did their job really, especially the King Tigers, because they pushed on through. They were
bullet magnets.
They were giant bullet magnets where it took cluster bombers to knock him out, and that really secured. This is one of the instances where bringing in the big bloody heavy tanks has pretty much run him the match. He probably should have done it sooner, really, if that southern push, because as we saw, once he had those big bloody tanks here, Orc couldn't do anything about it.
But, hindsight is 20/20. I think we have the benefit sometimes as being like, yes, armchair generals of armchair generals, so it's a little rough sometimes.
Especially when you're in a match, and I do understand when you do play Steel Division 1v1s, things get very tunnel visiony.
Yes.
It's like, you always just keep pushing this one flank, because you always feel like you're so close to just completely breaking the back of it. But yeah, there's like 20 more Shocky Squads come in.
Exactly.
You realise you have many more bodies that you have to walk over.
Exactly. But, honestly, Batista also, 4 kills, did pretty well for himself there.
Who was that?
Batista over here on the losses side of things, very successful from, the, let's say, German perspective there. Very well done on that Focke-Wulf. But outside of that, unfortunate von Eidelstadt, he just at the absolute last second let it slip away, and vonPaulus, very well done to him for sticking it out. I probably would have thrown in the towel a while before, but he hung in there for that last second.
Yeah.
Any final thoughts for this week, sir?
No.
Alright, folks, in that case then, we will see you guys all soon for some more SD League play. Until next time, I'm Con Ulrich.
I'm Rangaroo, take it easy.